Because as you know, from a joint distribution, if you have to derive the marginal distribution, what you do is that whose the variable whose marginal distribution you want, you integrate your joint density over all the other variables other than the variable whose marginal density you require. So now as we have the joint distribution of y1, y2, yn, so except yk, we can integrate that joint density over all other, that is y1, y2, yk minus 1, yk plus 1 up to yn, and the joint density is f of product of f of yi, right? So basically what we are doing is that we are integrating our joint density n factorial f of y1, f of y2 up to f of yn, but integration we are taking except for k, that is over y1 over y2 over yk minus 1 over yk plus 1 and so on up to yn. Except for k, we integrate our joint density. This is nothing but our joint density. So we integrate this joint density over yn minus 1 up to yk plus 1, yk minus 1 and so on y1, right? So this is how we can obtain the marginal distribution of our kth order statistic. So the expression we have written here, and we are going to get the similar expression as we would have proceeded with the incomplete beta form. So finally this integration will give you the density n factorial upon k minus 1 factorial n minus k factorial f of x power k minus 1, because k minus 1 are going to be smaller than x and remaining are going to be greater than the kth order statistic. So 1 minus fx power n minus k and into the small fx. So this is the form of the probability density function of the kth order statistic. Now also sometimes we may be interested in the joint density of two order statistics. So suppose I want to have a joint PDF of the jth and the kth order statistic. Okay, that is mistake. Instead of R and S, you should have J and K over there. So xj, so that is say yj, and xk, which we denote by yk. So it should be 1 less or equal to j less than k less than or equal to n. They be the jth and kth order statistic, and let fjk, yj, yk be the joint PDF. Again there is a mistake. It should be joint PDF of yj and yk. So as we did in case of deriving the marginal density, similar thing we can do for the joint density. What we do is we integrate with respect to y1, with respect to y2, with respect to yj minus 1, yj plus 1 and so on with respect to y, k minus 1, we leave yk because we want for j and k. We want joint density for j and k. So we leave yj and yk and so on up to yn. Our joint density is n factorial f of y1, f of y2 up to so on, f of yn, and you integrate with respect to yn, yn minus 1, so on, yk plus 1, yk minus 1 and so on, yj plus 1, dy j minus 1 and so on, dy1. This is actually going to be our expression, right, for deriving the joint density of two order statistic. So this is what we have written in that expression, and this density is going to be of the form n factorial upon j minus 1 factorial, k minus j minus 1 factorial, n minus k factorial, f of yj power j minus 1, 1 minus f of yk power n minus k, f of yk minus f of yj power k minus j minus 1 into the densities of jth and kth order statistics f of yj and f of yk, where we assume that the jth order statistic is less than the k, that is yj is less than yk. Now one more thing you can see here is when we are integrating, you can see carefully the range of integration which we are taking, right? Because in general we assume that our random variables are real valued random variables. So in general, I may have a real line on which my any random variable is lying, right? Now suppose I denote here my first order statistics y1, or I write it as x1. Similarly I have y2, or which I can say as x2 in order. So I have here yj minus 1, yj, we have yj plus 1, and so on, yk minus 1, yk, yk plus 1, and up to so on. I have here y of n. So what it is coming up is that you are leaving yj and yk because you are interested in the joint density of yj and yk. So when you integrate with respect to y1, first of all, so y1 should be integrated from, now y1 can be anywhere from minus infinity up to y2, right? Similarly y2 can be anywhere between minus infinity up to y3, and so on. When it comes to yj minus 1, it can be anywhere from minus infinity but up to yj. It cannot exceed the jth order statistic because it is a j minus 1th order statistic. Similarly, when you consider for yj plus 1, now when it comes to yj plus 1 must be greater than the jth order statistic. So the range for yj plus 1 will be from yj up to, and again it should be smaller than yk. It cannot exceed yk. So yj plus 1 should vary from yj up to yk, anywhere between that. Similarly, my yk minus 1 will be from the previous one, yk minus 2, but it cannot exceed yk, and so on. When it comes to yk plus 1, now my yk plus 1 must be bigger than the kth one, that is yk, but upper limit can be infinity. So yk plus 1, when you integrate with respect to yk plus 1, it is going to be from yk to infinity. Similarly, so on, when you take yn, it will be from previous one, that is yn minus 1, but it can go, upper limit will be up to infinity. So this is the range of the integration which should be taken carefully. So integrating this with the densities, that joint density, you will ultimately arrive to this joint distribution of the two order statistics, jth and kth order statistic. Then also we may be sometimes interested in the distribution of the range. Now as you know, range is defined as the difference between the smallest and the largest value in the data. Okay, it should be maximum minus minimum, right? It is xn minus x1, that is maximum minus minimum. So we suppose we denote w. First of all, we consider difference between a kth and the jth ordered value. So suppose we consider w as xk minus xj, and suppose we take v as yk or xk. Then this w and v, they are now transformed in terms of yk and yj, and now we want the distribution of v and w from the distribution of yj and yk. So Jacobian of the transformation will be defined like this, because you are transforming from yj and yk, you are transforming your variables to w and v. So this is your Jacobian matrix, which is going to be, its determinant is going to be minus 1, and so absolute of Jacobian is going to be plus 1. So using your transformation technique, the joint distribution of w and v will be like this: n factorial upon j minus 1 factorial, and so on. So now actually we are in, this is in general a joint distribution of w and v. Now if in particular you are interested in the distribution of range, then you can take j as 1, k as n. So we get w is equal to r. Your range is now w, and this above density, whatever the form of this density, you can see. Now if you take j as, because you have to take j as 1, so if you take j is equal to 1 here, you have 0 factorial. Similarly, if you take k is equal to n or n is equal to k, the last factorial term is also 0 factorial, and the last one is n minus 1 the middle one, that is n minus 1 minus 1, so that it will be n minus 2 factorial. So your first quantity is n factorial upon n minus 2 factorial. Similarly, when you take the first term f of v minus w power j minus 1, but again you have to take j as 1, so power will become 0. Similarly, in the second term, when you take n minus k, but now you are taking k as n, so that power also going to be 0. So only you are left with f of v minus w power n minus 2. So like that, your density finally reduced to this form. But now this is a joint density of range and a variable v, and you are interested in only the distribution of range. So again, from the joint density G of R and V, you can arrive to the marginal density of the range by integrating the joint density GRV with respect to variable V, and that means now we are taking integration with respect to V of our GRV dV. Okay, so that will give you the distribution of range as h of r. Suppose we denote it by h of r, it will be n factorial upon n minus 2 factorial integration over V and the density whatever we are having here, and take care of the range 0 less than r less than v less than w. Okay, that is very important. So now we take up whatever we have discussed here, we take up an example based on that. So suppose we take a data from exponential distribution. Let us say we have a random sample of size 5 from the exponential distribution. Now x1, x2 up to x5, they are basically our 5 random variables. They can be in any order. So let us first arrange them in order. So x of 1 in the bracket. Okay, that is our minimum. Suppose we denote that by y1. Then the second largest, that is x of 2, let us call it y2, and so on. Arranging them in the increasing order, finally we have x of 5, that is going to be our largest, which we denote by y5. So they are now our order statistics. So we can say y1, y2, y5, they are now our order statistics. Now we have taken the data, we are assuming our xi's to follow the exponential distribution. So we know that the density is given by f of xi. The PDF of exponential distribution is written as theta e raised to minus theta xi, where xi should be an exponential random variable varies between 0 to infinity. So xi should be greater or equal to 0, and the parameter theta also should be a non-negative real constant, and the corresponding distribution function capital F of xi is of this form: 0 if xi less than 0 and 1 minus e raised to theta xi if xi greater or equal to 0. So now whatever distributions we have discussed, we consider all of them with the help of this example. So first of all, distribution of minimum, that is minimum of y1, y2, y5, or it is x of 1. So as you know the form, it is 1 minus of f of y1 power n, the distribution function of minimum. So substituting here the distribution function of exponential, you are going to get the distribution function of minimum as 1 minus e raised to minus 5 theta y1, and from this distribution function you can derive the density function of the minimum order statistic, that is f1 y1. So differentiating that distribution function, you will get the PDF 5 theta e raised to minus 5 theta y1. And here you can note that the distribution of minimum, the PDF of minimum, again you are getting, it is in the form of exponential distribution but with the parameter 5 theta. Similarly, distribution of the maximum order statistic. So again you have the formula, it is the distribution function of the largest order statistic is a form f of x power n. So here it is f of y5 power 5 because our n is 5. So the substituting distribution function of exponential, you are getting the distribution function f5 fy5 of y5, that is 1 minus e raised to minus theta y5 whole power 5, and again differentiating that with respect to y5, you get the distribution, the PDF of the maximum, that is yn, or here you can say y5. So it is 5 theta 1 minus e raised to minus theta y5 power 4. Similarly, if I want any order statistic, let us say for example I have taken the distribution of third order statistic. You can take any one, right? Suppose we take the k is 3, matlab I mean, we are taking the distribution of the third order statistic, then we have this form. We have derived this form n factorial upon k minus 1 factorial, n minus k factorial, and so on. Now, in this general form, what I do is, let us substitute n is equal to 5, because as we say, we are having a sample of size 5. So, our n is 5 and I want the distribution of kth order statistics. Here my k is 3. So, putting n equal to 5 and k equal to 3 in this above formula, we are going to get this form f3y3, where now you can put the capital F of y3, you can substitute distribution function of exponential, and for small f of y3, you can substitute density function of exponential. So, distribution function will be 1 minus e raised to minus theta y3, and density will be theta e raised to minus theta y3. So, making these substitutions, we are going to get the marginal PDF of third order statistic like this. Now, if I want to find joint PDF of the second and third order statistic, say x2 and x3 in order, or that is, suppose I denote by y2 and y3, then again we have derived this form of joint distribution. We have already this form, so we are just quoting this again. Now, obviously, as we said earlier also, our yj must be smaller than yk. So, here I will take j as 2 and k as 3, and n is again 5. So, putting j is 2, k is 3 and n is equal to 5 in the above form, and replacing capital F of yj by the distribution function of exponential, and replacing small f of yj and yk by density function of exponential, we will end up with this joint distribution. Okay, deriving this by putting all the substitution, we are going to get the joint PDF of y2 and y3 as the last expression we are having, and where you can see the range will be 0 less than y2 less than y3 less than infinity. That is obvious because they are now in order. So, 0 must be less than y2, y2 must be less than y3, and y3 must be less than the upper limit of exponential infinity. Now, again you can see that in the general expression we had written the range from minus to plus infinity. But since exponential random variable, it does not vary from minus to plus infinity. It varies between 0 to infinity. That is why the lower limit is here 0. If it would have been the other distribution like normal or something, maybe your lower limit will be minus infinity. So, you have to be careful